Wondering what's happening in the world of music? Well, I've got some information for you. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back to another edition of Diverse Conversations, What's Happening in the World of Music. I am Dahlia Minnette, and I'm so happy that you are with me today or this week, whenever you watch it. We took a couple of months off. At first, it was not going to be that way. But at the last minute, I decided to take some time off because there were other things happening in the world, in my life, both professionally and personally, that I wanted to spend some time and attention on. But we're back. It had to do with music, of course, and I'm so happy to bring you something today. Today, I want to just focus on a few festivals that are up and running and going to happen in 2022. If you are, and I'm quite aware, let's put it this way, I'm quite aware that we are all still getting on an even keel after this whole pandemic for the past 2.5 years. And so everyone may not have the funds to travel or do the things that they were doing pre-pandemic. So if you are able to go to a festival, you get to see a lot of your artists that you would normally see in concert at one time. And it makes it more cost effective for you if that is what you need to do to get out there, support our musicians, and enjoy good music. So I'm going to tell you a few of them. I'm not going to go over concerts happening. I'm going to start doing that next week. But I do want to give you a list of festivals that you may want to invest your money in that are really going to happen this summer and be great. So the first one up, I can't start without talking about Berks Jazz Festival. It's ongoing right now. It started, I believe, on Thursday. So it runs, on the 1st, which was Friday. So it starts from April 1st to the 10th. So 10 days of music. It is a phenomenal festival. I have been there twice. And again, you get to see artists that you didn't think you'd be able to see or maybe not be in your budget for this year. So this past weekend, we had my client, Najee, and his band and friends. And they did their thing, and his guests were Chris Walker and Bobby Lyle. And Bobby Lyle is still going to be doing some things there at Berks this week. So if you don't know, Chris Walker is a vocalist and a guitarist. He used to work with Al Jarreau. He has a phenomenal voice. He scats beautifully. And he's there on stage with Najee and with Bobby Lyle. And I know that XM Stereo is going to be really playing the music from Berks Jazz Festival and broadcasting that at a later date this month. If I find out the date, I'll be sure to tell you on this next stream. So, can I just say, sidebar, not only did Najee have his special guest, but can I tell you that his band, they are superstars in their own right, because there is Kevin Robinson, who is with his own band. I want to say it's called the barbecue something band, but he comes from a funk background that just blows it up on stage. Then you have Blair Bryant, who is the ultimate bass guitarist, just up there doing his thing. He has released several CDs and is about to release his next one. And I want to say it is Enter the Dragon. But anyway, whatever it is, please go on their Facebook pages and get the correct names of these CDs. Purchase them. Let's support our artists. You also have this phenomenal keyboard players. He has Jesse Miller, who is also a solo artist in the gospel. He does jazz, he does R&B. And you have Christian Swan, another keyboardist that is just beautiful in the scene. He's new on the scene, but he has been on the gospel circuit. And I told him that all of his brothers also play. They're musicians as well. And then we have, of course, DP on the drums, Daniel Powell, who is a star in his own right, up in Buffalo, New York. Does his thing. He is the MD for Najee. And then on the billing with Najee, this jazz festival, you will get to see Wynton Marsalis. Wynton played Friday. So he was there. Eric Darius with Rebecca Jade, Selwyn Birchwood, DJ Act, who's playing the music in between, Peter White, Vincent Ngala, Mindy Abar, Greg Caracas, Gregory Porter, who I absolutely love his voice, Bella Fleck, and then there's so much more. And then, of course, you have the bass man himself, Gerald Veasley, and he does the jam sessions as well. So that is the whole week of April 1st through the 10th. Why do I want to jump to August? I definitely don't want to jump to August, but we're going to talk about some festivals back then too. That's coming up too. Next up, Sea Breeze Jazz Festival. Now, let me jump back a little bit. Burke's Jazz Festival is in Reading, Pennsylvania. So now we're going to go around down the coastline to Sea Breeze Jazz Festival. And Sea Breeze Jazz Festival in Panama City, Florida is one of the biggest festivals that they have there in that area. And that runs through April 20th through the 24th. So their lineup includes Boney James, Charlie Wilson, Gerald Albright, Spyro Gyra, Damien Escobar, Marcus Anderson, Ken Ford, Adam Howley, Kim Waters, and then there's so many more that I have not said yet because it's a huge lineup. It's a great time. It's outdoor. Bring your lawn chairs if you want, or purchase the VIP seating. Next up is a favorite of mine, and that is the Jazz Legacy Foundation. Now, they've decided to add a new part to their jazz festivals. They have part 1 and they have part 2. Part 1, which is what I'm going to talk about right now, is from June 10th through the 12th. So that has featured artists such as Boney James, Peebo Bryson, Gerald Albright, Allison Williams. Allison, I'm so glad you're back on the tour circuit. Marcus Miller, Hiroshima, I've heard both ways. Marcus Anderson, and he features CeeLo Green. Adrian Critchfield, and I've talked about Adrian before. I just happened to see him on YouTube one time, and his show is fantastic, and he's so engaging and charismatic. Let's see, Gregory Porter again is going to be at the Jazz Legacy Foundation Part 1 Jazz Festival. You're going to have Regina Bell, Paul Taylor, Jacqueline Joyner, Adam Howley, Alex Spoon Young, Marion Meadows, Richard Elliott, and more. Then they have part 2 in November, which is the one I'm going to be at. And that's from November 9th to the 13th. There will be Najee, Nathan Mitchell, Frank McComb, Elon Trotman, Boney James, Eric Darius, Ken Ford, Jeffrey Osborne, Gerald Albright, Kenny Lattimore, Karen Briggs, Frederick Yonnet, Will Downing, Tom Brown, Kim Waters and Kayla Waters, the DMV All-Stars, and they are Brian Lanier, Art Sherrod Jr., and Willie Brady. So there's more to that festival as well, but I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be off the chain. Yes, I'll be there. I hope to see some of you there. If you do see me, please feel free to come up and say hi. All right, next up, Orlando Music Festival. That is July 1st through the 3rd in Orlando, Florida. Oh, jump back. I keep forgetting to tell you guys where these festivals are. Jazz Legacy Foundation has their festival in Hampton, Virginia. Now, Orlando Music Festival goes without saying, Orlando, Florida. They're going to have July 1st through the 3rd with Richard Elliott, Marion Meadows, Nathan Mitchell again, yay, Lindsay Webster, Jasmine Gant, Deborah Kratz, Eric Darius, Brian Culbertson, and Brian has one of my artists that we manage, which is Rashawn Odell, Peter White, the Jacksons, the actual Jacksons, not a made-up one, fictitious, trying to be the Jacksons and portray the Jacksons. This is the actual Jackson brothers. Rick Braun and Pieces of a Dream. I'm gonna be there too. Yes, I am. I'll be there. Next up, then we have the Lake Arbor Jazz Festival in Mitchville, Maryland, and that's from July 13th through the 17th. I will be there too. Yes, I'm coming back out there. Diverse Conversations will be on the scene. So you're going to have Nathan Mitchell again. You're going to have Gerald Veasley, JJ San Marino, Eric Darius, Jacqueline Joyner, War, Down to the Bones, Tony Richards, and Karen Lynette. That's just to name a few. I'm sure, as we get closer, I'll be able to give you more information on that. Next up, and most people probably haven't heard of this, but this one is a fantastic one. I have visited there when I lived in Queens, New York, and that's the St. Albans Jazz Festival in Queens, New York. And they are celebrating and honoring 50th anniversary of the Black Spectrum Theater. And that is right off of Merrick Boulevard. I want to tell you, Merrick and the corner of between Merrick and my mind just went blank there. Rockaway Boulevard, I think you can take it going down there. But they're right in the heart of Queens. So on July 16th, they're going to have Norman Connors and the Starship Orchestra. They're going to have Allison Williams. They're going to have Marva King and Angie Stone. I would love to come down to that. I'm going to come next year. Unfortunately, I couldn't come because I'll be in Lake Arbor. But if I can tell you, if you are near New York, make plans to go to St. Albans Jazz Festival. Many of us from New York grew up in Queens, and Queens is the birthplace of our music, and that is where we are from. That is where we, really have cultivated the music, and it's just a phenomenal place to live. And I know that you've heard about 50 Cent comes from there, and what is his name? He's now the rapper there. Likes to lick his lips. It'll come to me later because I'm thinking this off the top of my head. And I believe Nicki Minaj is from Queens. Najee, of course, is from Queens. I never forget him. At one time, James Brown lived there, I believe. And so when I tell you, Queens College, which is the school that I went to for voice, and Donald Byrd used to come there, Jimmy Heath used to come there. There's so many. My former drummer, Wasi, is the MD for this jazz festival, and Vicky Love, who has done so much work, Queen Vicky, all at this festival. Take a John up to New York for the St. Albans Jazz Festival, Queens, New York, July 16th. Next is the Fresh Coast Jazz Festival in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and that's August 26th through the 27th. And they will have Marcus A. Adams, who I believe is from Milwaukee, Najee again, Gabrielle Anders Band, Adam Howley, Bob James, Alex Young. I'm sure there is much more. Again, as we get closer to these dates, I'll add more to the list. And then finally, the Atlantic City Jazz Festival. I'll also be there. I'm telling you now. September 17th. Now, I do know that Najee is going to be on that billing. They are still adding artists. And that festival is usually a fun time. Of course, you got the gambling, you've got the whole boardwalk, you've got the taffy. And so come out. It's like one of the closing big festivals of the year for the summer season. And so come on down. These are not the only festivals, but these are the festivals I'm covering today. And as I get more information, I'll probably revisit a few of them and add some more artists on, and then talk about other ones throughout the next few weeks. Now, I haven't talked about concerts, but there are concerts coming up which I haven't mentioned. I'm going to start mentioning those next week. So, a couple of things. If you still want some music, don't want to leave the house because there's still a pandemic going on. They haven't declared that it's finished. It hasn't evolved into an endemic. You have Feel Better. Oh, look at that. I'm just over here tripping on my words. Feel Better Friday with Silva Logan Sharp. And she is at 1:30 p.m. If you're at your desk, pop open your phone, listen to her music. You don't have to watch if somebody's watching you. Somebody's watching me. So yes, if they're watching you at work, just turn on the music. You don't have to watch. You can just listen to the singing and the talking and have a good time. And then you also have Mesa's Karaoke Kitchen. Now, she's been doing it sometimes on Sundays, sometimes on Mondays. Both of them are on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find out the exact times and places at that time they do live music. Brian Culberson will sometimes do his live music. So you have all of those things. Oh, and Silver Logan Sharp also has her silverware. Hello, beautiful jewelry. I'm hoping to see her in a few weeks. She doesn't know that, but I'm hoping to see her in a few weeks, and I want to purchase some stuff so you can see me wear them on, darling. You see me wear them on. That's it. I knew it was going to be a short day. I didn't want to keep everybody out. I don't know where you are, but where I am, it is not that great outside. And so I'm staying in the house. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do. I hope to see you next week, and have a fabulous, blessed Sunday. Bye.